So every time before we hit, we always do bat circle to get really warmed up. So we're gonna walk. Handstands, we'll do some wrist snaps, good contact point, 5 of those, finish, and then we're going to do a resistance swing. So first I'm going to hold her back, she's going to take a nice good swing, I'm going to hold resistance the whole way through. We'll do 2 of those. Now we're gonna do yoga swings.
All right, so every school, every team is gonna have different terminology that they use for different aspects of the game. We use yoga swings as the main way that we talk about our offense and our swing. We don't need every single swing to be exactly the same. We like that everybody's a little bit different, but this is a way to get to certain spots and kind of be able to talk about it and evaluate what's going on in our swing. So each one of them is going to draw their own little home plate and pretend that I am their pitcher. Leah is really making a good one over there. There we go. Good. All right, so our yoga swings have different names, different steps. Who knows our first? We haven't talked about this in a while, so we'll see what they say. Who knows our first one?
Ready.
Ready. Good. What's important about our ready stance?
Eyes on pitcher.
We're relaxed.
Stay loose.
Good. Relax. Stay loose. Eyes on pitcher. I like it.
Our bat is always on our shoulder.
Yes. If you look at pictures of Barry softball players ever since we first started this program, it's awesome because they all look the same when they step in that box. They are relaxed, they are confident, they are breathing, and that bat is on their shoulder because they're the ones that are in control, right? The pitcher thinks she's in control, but when you're in that box, you're in control, so you always want to be ready. So as soon as you step in that box, that pitcher can go. So we're ready stance. Let me see your ready stance, everybody. Good. 2 eyes on the pitcher, nice and relaxed. Bats on our shoulder. Who knows the next one? Athletic. Good. So athletic is our next stance. Athletic, what are you going to do during that stance? Good. So that bat comes off the shoulder just a little bit. We're getting that nice hinge and that athletic posture like we talked about. And they are now really athletic and ready to go. When do you get athletic?
When she steps on the mound.
Yeah, that pitcher steps on the mound, right? So that pitcher is walking around. They're going to be in their ready stance. Let me see it. She's walking around, not really paying attention, talking to her outfield. And then she steps on that mound, and they're all going to get athletic because now they're prepared. What's next?
Load.
Load. Good. Let's see it. Good. So a little bit of a load, a little bit of a separation. Good. What's next?
Contact.
Contact. All right, let's get to contact and hold it. Good. Who can tell me something that's important about this position?
Palm up, palm down.
Palm up, palm down. If you want a good workout, try to hold this position for a while. I'm gonna make them shake a little bit over here because this is actually a lot harder than it looks. We are gonna be palm up, palm down. What else?
Eyes on the ball.
Yeah, so eyes on the ball for sure. All of their eyes are on the ball. What else did you say?
Angle of the bat.
Angle of the bat. Yeah, if you look at this bat, her hands are above her barrel. What else? Who else can tell me something?
Your back, like your back toe or your back foot should be up. Like you should be on your toes.
Good. Yes. So we want to get our heel up even more. There we go. Good. Pinching that knee in. want to have a good separation. So we want to have our hands leading our barrel. So if you look at it, you're going to really be able to see that their hands are leading the barrel like a whip through the zone. So instead of barrel, we're thinking barrel behind our hands. All right, shake it out for a second. Shake it out.
Well, we also want to make sure whenever we're in our contact position, you see how Madison's elbow is down, close to her body? We want it up, okay? So it makes a house in your arms. There's like a square and like a triangle here with her forearms. We want to make a house. So we always want this elbow up so we can, after contact, we can push through.
Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. All right, so what we're gonna do for this one is we're gonna put Abby on the spotlight and we're gonna have the camera kind of really come closer to Abby so that we can see her, and we'll probably see Mac in the background also, but we're gonna really focus and watch. I still want you guys to do it so that you are still looking at it, but I really wanna be able to see every aspect of it. So we're gonna go through it again. What's our first step?
Ready.
Ready stance. So we step in that box, 2 eyes are on the pitcher, and we're ready. Leah, if you need to back up a little bit, you can always back up a little bit. All right, we are 2 eyes on that pitcher. She's walking around, she's not paying attention. All right, now she steps on the mound. We get to our athletic stance. Good. Now she's getting ready to pitch the ball and we load. And then we get to contact. Good. So we are pinching, heel is up, knee is in, pinching our knees together. We have a good angle here with the bat. Hands are leading the barrel and hands are above the barrel. Eyes are on the ball. We have a nice good posture in our body. She's got a nice angle. She's staying over the ball, right? We always hear that term, stay over it, stay over it. This is what it means. Her shoulder is over the ball. She's got a nice little lean. What's next? Extension, go for it. So we're still gonna remain palm up, palm down. Her upper body stayed the same. Her head is over it. We're gonna keep our heel up. Pinch, pinch, pinch.
During extension, you want to have your arms nice and long. You want to be palm up, palm down, and you want your bat to be nice and long and straight, just like your arms are. Both of them are doing a great job with that right now.
Good, what's next?
Finish.
Follow through, go. Good, shake it out. Shake it. I want you to face this way so that they can see you. And when we start our bunt, any bunt, BHB, sack, squeeze, which we're gonna get to in a second, we wanna start up and out. So let me see your posture to cover that up and outside pitch. Good. See how tall they are? They're at the top of the zone. So if that ball is above here, what are we doing?
Pull back.
Yeah, we're pulling back. We're watching that go by. Let's start up and out again. Let me see it. Good. Up and out. Now this is super easy. So now if it's a down and out pitch, what are you doing? Yes. All they do is move their knees. Now they're covering that down and out. Go back to the up and out. Okay, so if we start up and out, and now it's up and in, what do you do? Yes, all you do is shift it, so now your eyes are still behind it. They're strong, and they're out in front of them. Okay, so now start up and out again. Now if it's down and in, what do you do? Good. So now they're shifting with their knees. That's really important for bunting. Out in front of you, move with your knees. All right, so we have multiple different types of slaps, but every player that we have, we use the ones that they're best at. So I don't want them to be able to do a million different types of slaps. I want them to be really good at what they do. So we always try to pick out the top 1 or 2 things that they're going to be really good at, and we focus on those 1 or 2 things. Will you draw a line for the box also? Hey, there you go. Good, awesome. So for slappers, it's always a really good idea for you to have a box, because you want to work on staying inside that box and utilizing it to your advantage. So the first thing that Leah's going to show us is going to work on her footwork a little bit, and she's going to get to contact. So the same thing that she would for our yoga swing, and she's going to work on getting her foot all the way up as far as she can into this corner. So sometimes people start too far back, but we want to get to the point when your crossover step is going to be right in this corner, kind of pointing towards that shortstop position.
Are we getting to contact?
Get to contact. Good. There you go. Good job. So now her hands are leading. This is going to be more for that power slap.
We communicate consistently about the different types of slaps that our slappers do at Barry. We have our power slap, we have our shuffle, we hit away, we have a low line drive, we have a soft slap, we have a chop slap.
And she's leading and she's
So there's
here,
lots
she's
of
nice and
options,
strong.
and we make sure
And then
that
she were to
every
follow
time you come up to
through,
bat,
go
you're telling
all the way
us
through.
which type you're working
Good,
on.
and then she'd start running to first base. So I encourage you that anytime that you're doing a drill, take a couple steps out of the box because you always feel it. In college, a lot of the times they're calling people that are stepping across the box. More than not, when you're called for out of the box, it's because you're stepping this way. Not so much that you're stepping towards the pitcher, it's because you're stepping towards home plate. So we want to work on that. We work on that crossover step a lot. So she's going to get in her box. And if she was going to do a soft slap, what's important about a soft slap, Leah? What can you tell me?
To deaden it out.
To deaden it, yep. So she wants to deaden it. So she's going to get to contact and stop. And then that's where we stop our soft slap. So we're really stopping at contact. She's getting a really good angle to place that ball wherever she wants it to go with her bat. And then she's going to basically drop her bat from here. And then she would take off and go to first base. So that soft slap, she's going to be stopping at contact. And that power slap, she's going to be going all the way through. Does that make sense?
Yes.
We also have a shuffle. So Aaliyah has never done a shuffle, correct?
Correct.
So this is the first time Aaliyah's going to do a shuffle. So how this works is this is basically hitting away, but it's just showing them something different with your feet. So if you are a more of a power hitting lefty that also slaps, this could be something kind of cool to throw in there. So how it's going to work is all she's going to do is she's going to shuffle forward and then she's going to hit away. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Shuffle forward and hit away. Yep. And you can be nice and slow and relaxed with your feet. So it's just a timing, it's a rhythm. A lot of slappers like to move in the box, so hitting away sometimes feels awkward for them. And this is a way to get your feet moving without doing that crossover that maybe feels awkward also. So you're gonna be here, we're gonna take a step nice and slow and rhythm and then swing. Good. A lot of righties will do this as a drill, like a hitting drill, but this actually can be something that you do in the game. So this is our shuffle. So can you show us full speed your power slap? Good. So every slapper is going to...
The only difference between our low line drive and our power slap is going to be the attack angle of our bat as we approach the ball. So for our power slap, we're going to be thinking that we should be at a positive attack angle, maybe with a 1 or a 2, potentially a 0, kind of coming through hard but level. And then with that low line drive, we're likely going to have a negative attack angle. So we're coming down towards the ball with our bat as we approach that ball. So thinking more of a -1 and -2 attack angle.
Every slapper is going to be a little bit different with how they do these things. But I encourage you, anytime that you tell a coach, oh, I'm slapping, tell them what type of slap you're doing because you want to be very intentional with that purpose. We also do a chop slap sometimes where we're hitting it really hard down at the ground to get it to bounce up really high. So there are a ton of options of different types of slaps, and we'll talk.
Now we're going to transition into some cage drills. This drill is called contact extension follow through. We really want to make sure that we're slowing things down and taking our time between each rep to really feel what our body is supposed to be doing. First, we're going to stop at contact. If you see here, Madison's elbow stays pretty tight close to her body. Her bat angle looks good. The next rep, we're going to go into extension. And then the next one, we're going to take a full swing. And all three of those combined is 1 rep.
Rolled over, you want to fix it to palm up, palm down, and then try it again.
Good.
That
Awesome
was really
extension.
good. Full speed. If you can go pretty much full speed and stop at extension, that's awesome. Stay over it. Stay over it. Maintain that posture the whole time.
Hold on just for a second. I feel something.
Maintain that posture the whole time.
I love that Madison called the little mini timeout so that she could do it again and really feel it the correct way. You'll see here that her body has that really great C in it so that her head and her shoulder are staying over the ball.
For the whole time. Yes. Good job.
Oh.
Is that right?
Not that.
Good.
Good.
Good job.
Awesome. Good job.
Nice job.
Nice strong lower half.
Good.
Good job.
So what this drill does is it really makes us stay in our back half and stay stacked on our back half. On one, yeah. So it starts at her ankle, staying stacked. Then you see that her knee is still stacked on top of that ankle. Her hip and her shoulder are all stacked. Okay. So our back half, we're keeping our weight in our back half. We're getting that foot down on time, and we're taking our full swing. Good. Nice. Very good balance. Good. Okay.
All of the drills that we do in this video, slappers can do as well. Just get a little creative, switch it around a little bit, and you can do it. But we like to do this one, especially for our slappers, because it really works on the angle of your bat. And yes, we are doing soft slap off the tee, which might be a little bit crazy. But it really works on our footwork, and it works on getting the correct angle on the bat and dropping it at contact. Shaft to shoulder is another drill that anybody can do. It's working on whipping your hands through the zone before your barrel comes through. So you want to stop on the first rep where you're just stopping with your shaft of your bat touching your shoulder and your hands are coming through. And then you go back and you take a full rep. You got it, Abby? Good job. I'd argue that Abby's hands are just a little bit too close to her body. When we do shaft to shoulder, we really want to think about getting our hands extended out a little bit further so the shaft of her bat is actually touching her shoulder instead of the handle touching her shoulder. You would see that if she pushed her hands out a little further, then her bat would be a little bit further down on her shoulder, which is what we're looking for. Now during this next drill, we're looking for really emphasizing our lower half. We want to get good separation between our lower half and our upper half. So for trigger, go, we're focusing on getting that lower half going before our upper half starts. So that trigger are going to be lower half, and then a full swing.
Good. Better.
Good job. During this next drill, we're working on being explosive with our weight transfer. So we're doing a shadow back foot release. So you'll see her back foot actually come off the ground, and that's the purpose of this drill. Some people do that naturally during their swing anyway. So I challenge you to watch. Is that something you do during your swing? Do you have teammates that do that? If you were to watch the MLB or some big time D1 programs, and you'd see how powerful they are, that back foot actually comes off the ground. So we're kind of practicing that here in different steps. So that first video we were doing it shadow, and then we're going to do it again with a ball off the tee. There you go. That was it. Here, let's do one more. That was so great. We have to do one more. Yes, good. During the seated drive drill, Abby should be building up tension in her back leg. So as you watch her stand up, she should really be focusing on building up that tension in her back leg and then driving forward and using it.
Better.
That's much better, Abby. Much better.
During the pendulum drill, Abby is kind of building up momentum and being nice and smooth as she walks up to it, and then she gets in her position and takes a big, nice, aggressive cut. So we're building momentum, we're staying nice and smooth, and then we're going right into our swing.
Good, Abby. Good.
During the step behind drill, Abby is building up tension in that back hip, and she can really feel kind of that torque in that hip, and then she's exploding. So she coils, explodes. Similar concept with this next drill. We're building momentum, we're storing energy, and then we're exploding. So we want to take a step at a 45-degree angle up and towards your tee, and then go right into your swing. Once again, with our lunge start, we are building up tension in that back side. We're keeping a good hinge at our hips, and then we're exploding into our swing.
Better.
I want you to get down a little lower. Really feel it in your quad.
When you do the elevated start, you should go super slow motion, and you want to sink into that back half and feel that tension.
better. Good job.
And then once your front toe touches the ground, that's when you should explode. So slow motion, sink in, and then touch and swing.
All right, we're going to talk about pitch selection a little bit, and kind of the Berry College philosophy for pitch selection. This is something that we talk about really consistently in our practices and at games and everything like that. Abby, will you tell us a little bit about your experiences with that?
Yeah, so Berry is very much so known for pitch selection. We draw a lot of walks. We go up to the plate having our pitch in mind. We really focus on it a lot in practice, in the cage. Every swing, we're focusing on our pitch or whatever pitch we're working on. And like when I came to Berry, I thought I was an outside pitch person, and that changed to an inside pitch. And like these freshmen are going to talk about.
Bouncing off of that, mine didn't really change from like, what did you say? Outside to inside. Mine stayed outside, but it was more like focusing on it early in the count. My pitch is a 2-3, but then deep in the count, it's 1-2-3. Like I'm protecting. I'll say like before coming to Berry, pretty much if it was a strike, like I hated getting deep in the count. So if it was a strike, I was trying to get on, I was trying to hit it. But coming here changed that.
Yeah, I would 100% agree. My pitch didn't really change. It like started inside, stayed inside, kind of like a 2-3 as you can see on the plate. But when I came here to Berry, I focused more on like honing in on that 2-3 and really focus on picking that pitch and staying with it. Because like in high school ball and travel ball, we were basically told to like hit it if it was a strike, which is definitely different coming here to Berry. But when I came here, it was just all about like picking that 2-3 and staying with it.
Yeah, so I was a 2-3 hitter for sure, and so when I would go up to the plate, I would think like 2-3, like hands in, hands and down, let it get deep. And so yeah, if a 4 went by and it was called a strike, like it was no big deal. Didn't really matter because that's not my pitch. That's not what I was strong at, and I knew that I was comfortable hitting. And so So let's say, for example, there's 2-3 pitch and it's down here. I personally would not go for that pitch because it's super low, and I know I'll probably get a straight ground ball out of that. So when I'm looking for a 2-3, I want Abby. Will you come? Where are you? Will you come? Just put like a. So like for me, for 2-3, like I'm looking like waist height pitch right in between a 2 and 3, so I can get my hands through and extend out.
If you can see on the plate, can you see it? On the plate we have different numbers, and we put the balls on here so that we have really good terminology. So when we're talking about this, I know that you can hear them already kind of mimicking that terminology, but we use these numbers all the time. And we're really being selective, and it pays off. A lot of time I'd say that's a big transition, like they said, when they first get to college and they get to Berry, in buying into that mentality of pick your pitch and drive your pitch. Now, it depends, and I hope that eventually we can all grow to the point where we can crush a 1 through a 5, lefty or righty, doesn't matter. I hope that we can grow to that point where we know if we have 2 strikes, yeah, I'm really confident I can crush this 5. But if it's 0-0, why would I be going for a pitcher pitch when I can crush my pitch, right? So we're hunting our pitch. That's the term we like to use, is we hunt our pitch. Mackenzie, you want to talk a little bit about like our mentality of coming up and looking for that pitch?
Yeah, so first you always want to have like a very positive mindset when you're stepping into the box. And so we always talk about a go, go, go mindset. So if I'm in the box and the pitch is coming, I'm thinking go, go, go. And if it's a 4-5, I'm still going to take a hard, aggressive go, but I know that's not my pitch. So it's a yes, 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 no. And so I'm still timing the pitcher, getting like my legs into it and still actively being in the game without just standing there and knowing that that's not my pitch.
That's one of the things that I love looking for, especially when I'm recruiting. I love watching someone take a pitch because it tells you a lot about their swing and their mentality. If they're in there like this and they are just like this and they kind of watch it go by, or they don't even watch it go by, they just kind of stand like this looking at the pitcher, that shows me that they're not tracking. And as a pitcher, I think I won, right? Because they're not using that as a rep to learn anything. I always want to see people that use every single rep to learn something. So if they're in there just like Mackenzie said, we're going to be yes, 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 yes with an aggressive go. So what we mean by that aggressive go is we're going to be thinking 3 inches with our bat, 3 inches, aggressive go, and then no, right? And we're watching that ball go by so that we're learning something and we're being aggressive and we're getting our timing down. We talk about different counts. So if Mackenzie's up to bat and she's 0-0, like we said, and she gets a pitch over here, you going for it?
No.
No, that's a really hard take though, right? To have the patience to watch this 4-5 waist height go by, that takes a lot. But now we get this, you gonna swing?
Yes.
Oh yeah, she's gonna crush that pitch, 0-0. So now we're gonna start expanding, right? As we start getting strikes, we're gonna expand our zone a little bit more. So if she's normally a 2-3 inside, a lot of people, our pitch is gonna be a middle in pitch. Majority of the time, yours is gonna be a middle in. Now our slappers might be a little different, but we're thinking a middle in pitch is probably gonna be our power zone. So if we're thinking 2-3, and then all of a sudden she gets a ball on her, now I'm gonna shrink it down a little bit more. Maybe now I'm only thinking a 3. I'm thinking a 3, quad height, right? Versus if she gets a strike on her, now maybe I'm thinking still a 2-3. Come on up like you're getting up to that. And now maybe I'm going for something here that's a 2-3, more at that knees, right? So now I'm expanding my zone a little bit more, but maybe I'm expanding a little lower versus thinking I'm just going 2-3 here. Maybe now with that strike, I'm going 2-3 here, right? With 2 strikes, now we're really thinking, what's our term that we say?
Yeah, hands and down.
Yeah, hands and down. So get up to bat. So we're thinking hands and down because that eliminates what? Rise ball, right? With those 2 strikes in college, a lot of times you're going to see something up in the zone. So we're thinking hands and down, and then what does let it get deep say?
Like if you have an outside pitch, you want it to get deep on the plate. So if it is not your pitch, you can foul that off and keep fouling it off until that pitcher will eventually give you your pitch.
Yes, yep. So it's going to be both. It's going to be an outside pitch that we let it get deep, or a changeup. So something off speed, that we're letting it get deep. So instead of saying, don't swing at the rise ball, don't swing at the rise ball, instead of mom or dad in the stands yelling, don't swing at the changeup, watch the changeup, we're gonna say hands and down, let it get deep, because we wanna focus on the things that we want to happen, right? So if I say don't swing at the rise ball, all my brain is hearing is swing at the rise ball, and you better bet you're gonna swing and miss that rise ball. So you wanna say hands and down, let it get deep so you can crush that pitch. We're saying that over and over again with those 2 strikes. But as our count changes, as our situation changes, we're expanding the zone, right? So another way that we expand the zone is if we do our scouting reports on the other team and we see a pitcher who is constantly throwing curveballs, right? She's first pitch curveball all the time for a strike. So she's throwing that good 4, I'm not saying a 5, but good 4 curveball as a strike. We're talking about it as a team, and we're saying, all right, I know your pitch is middle in, you're a 2-3. Now, for this game, you're gonna be a 3-4. You're gonna toe up and you're gonna hunt that 4 and you're gonna crush it, right? But she's gonna be good enough to lay off the 5 because this is not our pitch, right? But she is gonna crush that 4. So really thinking through that pitch selection is really important, but we wanna do that thought process in here. And we wanna do that thought process in practice so that in a game we're nice, calm, cool, collected, relaxed as we step in that box. And we're gonna talk about that a little bit later with kind of that process. But we wanna kind of have a plan, and we like to talk about that plan a lot ahead of time so that on game day, we're super relaxed, we're confident, we're ready, we've got our plan, we know what we're doing, and we're gonna stick to it. What else? I think that we do a really great job as a program of celebrating each other and different things that we like buy into. So we've had people that have really had a hard time laying off changeups before, and we've had them in the box, and that changeup goes by, and it's waist height, and it's a perfect pitch, but it's 0-0, and she watches it go by for a strike. You would think that the other team's gonna get excited. Our team gets super pumped because she stuck to our plan, and our plan is to lay off that changeup early on. There's no reason to swing at a changeup early in the count if that's not your plan, right? So you really want to stick to your plan because that's when it's going to pay off later on. So.
I'm going for a 2-3 middle in pitch.
This next drill takes our contact extension follow through to the next level. We're using front toss and we're incorporating pitch selection. So Abby tells us what pitch she's going for. She says yes, yes, yes if it is the pitch she would want. She's going to stop at contact, stop
Abby.
extension, and do a full swing only on pitches that would be considered the one that she's looking for. So if she says 2-3, which she does in this video, then those are the only pitches she's going to swing
do it
at,
one more time
and she's
through.
going to watch the rest go by.
Same pitch.
Yes, 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 yes.
Got it, Abby. Good. You got it, Abby. Good.
Good, nice job.
Good job, Abby. I'm gonna say the number. So I'm gonna pitch the ball in, whether she swings at it or not. She's gonna tell me afterwards what number it was. So if she comes up to bat and she says my pitch is
2-3.
2-3, after she swings, and I say what number it was that, and she says a 4, now we're having really good feedback, right? And the people back there are also gonna be looking and paying attention and saying, yeah, I thought that was a 1, or I thought that was a 4, so that we can kind of talk it through. All right, Flint,
Yeah,
what is your pitch?
a 2-3.
A 2-3, so she's getting, we'll go 3 pitches, and we'll switch. 2-3, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Oh no.
What number was it?
2.
We'll let her say first. What number?
2.
2. Did you agree?
Yes.
Yes, Leah got excited back there. Good. So, and these are the little things that we want to celebrate, right? So maybe not the best swing,
No.
but she went for a 2, so that's exciting, right? So little wins that we're looking for.
1.
A 1.
Yes.
Good feedback, though. We're talking about it. She's gonna make adjustments.
2.
That was a 2. Good job.
Good job. Yeah. Abby, what number are you going for?
2, 3.
2, 3. All right, our helpers back there are going to be looking and letting us know. 2, 3. Actually, I'm going to call timeout. Abby just did a really good job because she was in her ready stance. See, that's her ready stance. We talked about that already. Eyes are on the pitcher while I'm walking around and talking. Once I'm ready, then she gets athletic.
Yeah.
What number?
2.
2.
Low.
But low, right? So we're going to let that go. Good job.
That was it.
Oh,
That was a 2.
That was it. So early in our season, we're using this as like a learning moment. Later in our season, we're saying, all right, if you don't swing at your pitch, then you're gonna lose a rep and you're out, and then the next person comes in. But we'll be nice right now. She hasn't played in a while. You ready?
That was 3.
All right, Leah. What is your pitch? 2, 3. Okay. Now she's saying 2, 3, but a lefty. Now that 2, 3 is outside for her. Now we're also going to ask and we're going to say, what type of skill are you working on? Soft slap. All right, so we're going to look at her form for that soft slap.
Yeah, Leah.
There you go. What number was it?
That was like a 2.
A 2 or maybe a 3. I see back there a couple 3s. Good. Yep, we're close. Good job. What do you think, Aaliyah?
That was like borderline. I thought it was 1.
I think it was a 0. I think, yeah, it was definitely off the plates. Now these
So
are
good
good.
take.
These are, yeah, it was a really good take because maybe it looked like the right height. She thought it was actually a 2, but it was definitely off the plate, right? And our people back there are kind of saying the same thing. You think it was a 0?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, off the corner of the plate. All right, one more.
You got it, Aaliyah. Woo! That's a good one, Aaliyah.
What number?
2, 3.
2, 3. What'd you think back there? 3? Good.
All right, Hollis, show us up. Here we go, pitcher.
Hollis.
Hello.
What number are you going for,
Somebody's
Hollis?
hit a 2, 3.
2, 3.
You got it. It's only going up from here. Yeah! What was it?
I said that was a dead 3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look
it
at
was.
behind you. They're holding up numbers back there, and they said 3 also. Good job.
Also a dead 3.
What do we think?
3, 4.
3, 4,
3,
7.
4-ish. It was
Borderline.
borderline 3.5.
I'm gonna celebrate this.
Oh, that was more of a 1.
What do we think? 2-ish?
2, 1.
2, but a little low, right?
Yeah.
So when I think of Madison, what type of hitter would we say Madison is?
Power.
She's like, yeah, power hitter. So get up in your stance. As a power hitter, if we're 0-0, do we want to be swinging at this?
No.
No, right? Because that's a ground ball. She's hitting home runs. So I'm waiting for something more up here. So even if it is that 2, but it's here, she's letting it go. Because at Barry, we are super selective and we're crushing and hunting our pitch. So she's going to crush something more up here and hit it out of the park.
How many are we taking?
3.
That was it. I forgot to tell you that.
All right, next round, we're gonna switch up our situation a little bit. So our next round, we're thinking we've got a runner on 2 with no outs. Runner on 2, no outs. What are some things we're thinking?
Right side.
Potentially right side. Yep,
Deep fly ball.
deep fly ball. I love how you phrase that, right? So deep fly ball. Instead of saying sack fly, right? We're gonna say deep fly ball. I wanna hit it deep. If we're actually going to be hitting a true deep fly ball, does it matter what side of the field?
No.
No. So if I'm more of a power hitter and my pitch is 2-3, then I'm okay with Mackenzie going 2-3 deep fly ball that way because that'll still do the job, right? But if I'm somebody who's more of a line drive, maybe a ground ball, then I want to be a little bit more safe and I say 3-4. So now I'm going outside with it. What are you thinking?
I'm still probably gonna go 2-3 deep fly ball.
2-3 deep fly ball?
Uh-huh.
Good. What type of pitch are you going for? Up here, down here?
I would say like a thigh.
Yeah. So we say quads and up, especially with our more power hitters. We're thinking quads and up. What are you doing?
I said a thigh.
All right, we're a little rusty.
Here you go, Mac.
Runner on 2, it's your job to get her in. Here we go.
Here you go, Mac. Here you go.
Nope, that's a one.
Ah, yep, that's a 1. And that's
I
why we're
got it.
practicing this, because now she's able to say that was a 1. She's learning so that in a game she's gonna crush hers.
Brother.
Ready?
You got it.
Yeah! That's better.
She's going to third.
That'll work.
Yeah! Girls go.
Good. Next up, Abby, what would you go for?
I'm thinking 3-4 right side. I'm more of a line drive hitter.
Good, I love that. Self-awareness to know what we're really good at and know what pitch to go for. So now she's thinking 3-4, but we're also still thinking we want a line drive. I don't want something little dinky to that side. I want more of a line drive. So if you get up to bat, we're still thinking quads, right? This pitch and higher is where she wants to go. Quads to belly button. Ready?
3.
What do we think? 3?
2-3.
Why'd you watch it?
Well, I don't know.
A little high? Alright,
Not
alright.
something that I go for.
Alright, here we go.
Hey, here you go. Here you go.
There it is. Good adjustment.
Right here, Ab.
5.
4. 4-ish. 4, 5. Alright, who's up? Aaliyah. Our slapper. Ah, so runner on 2, what are you doing? BHB, so you're going to lay down that bunt.
I'm opening my
Good. So now she's at a point where we've had conversations with her where she can open it up. So she's going 2, 3, 4, but we're thinking something lower in the zone so that she can drop that BHB, that base hit bunt down and speed it to first. Are you ready?
Yes, man.
Woo!
So you're going to third on that one.
Good. Pulling back. Good.
2, 3. All strip.
All right, I want you to run this out towards first on this last one. Take one more. Just a couple steps out of the box so that you can really see it. Anytime slappers are working on bunting or slapping, I always encourage them at least 1 or 2 of their reps to be running it out. Good.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job. All right, you got a runner on 2, Madison. What are your thoughts?
I'm thinking quads to belly button, deep fly ball.
Quads to belly button, deep fly ball. Awesome.
Yes.
What pitch is he going for?
Probably a 2-3.
A 2-3.
A
Good.
2-3.
2-3. So she's still thinking that middle in because that's her strength. She's a power hitter, so we're thinking she's going to put a little lift on it and crush it to the outfield.
Yeah, Max.
Get her in. What do you think?
I'm a 4, but it wasn't. It was low.
It's
Yeah,
a
it was
low
low. Yeah.
and a 4. You got it?
It was there. I just kind of rolled.
Yep. And one of the things that we want to be careful about, you can see that Madison's doing it, and it's probably because we got the video on, but we're not going to evaluate every single swing. You're going to drive yourself crazy, right? So we're going to take a couple swings, and if we still are doing the same thing after 2 or 3 rounds, then yeah, maybe go up to the coach and say, hey, what am I doing? Or I'm not sure exactly what's going on. But we're not going to evaluate every single swing because we're going to drive ourselves nuts. We're going to be confident. We're going to take a step out. We're going to take a deep breath. We're going to get back in, and we're going to try again. You got it right here. Good. That's better. That's better. Good. So, what we talk about, we do have all these plans and we have all these thoughts, and it's really important to talk through all of those things, but we want to have all of the big thoughts going on over there, right? So in the dugout is when we're thinking about our plan and we're focusing on different things. And as we get closer and closer and closer to the box, we have one thought. So you want to pick your one cue word. What works for you? Is it confidence? Is it breathe? Is it relax? Whatever your word is the word that you want to have as you're kind of approaching that moment. So you're
The ultimate goal that we hear all the time is that we want our mind to be clear when we're performing. So whether that is when you're stepping on the mound to pitch, or you are stepping in the box to hit, or you're preparing to field a ground ball, you want your mind clear. That takes a ton of practice. You physically have to practice your mental game in order to be able to erase some of those other thoughts. And one of the things that we do a lot is we focus on filling our mind with something, but you have to be very intentional about it. So your mind is always going, you're always thinking something. So why not put something in there that you are in control of? Sometimes when we let our mind go, it's going to fill itself naturally. So you need to take charge and put yourself in the best position to be successful. And that's why we say you want one cue word. So you step in that box and you're saying that one cue word over and over again, whether that is breathe, or relax, or whatever your cue word is, you're going to say that over and over in your head so that you're filling that space with something productive.
putting yourself in the best position. A really good idea is to tell mom your word, tell dad your word, tell coach your word, tell teammates your word, so that everybody's yelling the same thing. Sometimes we get in our heads when we hear too many things going on, and it's up to you to control that space and control what you're doing in that moment. And I think that they all do a really good job of that. Yeah.
I think something that's also important and a big thing we did this year is we had an accountability partner. So it was someone that was in the dugout and they were watching you hit. They knew what you were trying to work on. They knew your pitch. And when you came back in the dugout and you had like your time to think about your at bat, whether it was good or bad, that person would come up to you and just ask you how you thought it went, what you went for. And if it wasn't the best at bat, they would kind of talk you through what they thought they saw, what you felt. And so it's someone that will help you get through good or bad, and you know it's someone that you trust and can talk to about the good or the bad that happens during an at-bat.
Anybody else have anything to add about mental game or things that you've worked on or a word that you have that you focus on, whether that's offense or defense, either way it could work?
Something that's really helped me is just really thinking about like how simple can I make this. Like my big thing is I tend to overthink a lot of things, as you could probably tell by my last at-bats. But my big keywords are keep it simple, and that's just what I've thought about throughout this whole past season and even working on stuff at home, and it's really helped me kind of focus on small specific things to help me get better.
Another thing for me is confidence. Like you're in the game for a reason, you're playing for a reason, been given the opportunity for a reason, so have the ultimate confidence. There's no reason to go in the box having little confidence. Just know that like you're in that place for a reason. If you don't get the job done, that's okay. If you get the job done, amazing. There's nothing to lose.
We would love to elaborate more on mental games, so feel free to ask us your individualized questions during the live portion.
Awesome. I think that mental game is something that we do focus on quite a bit, so that's really important, and we love talking about it a lot. And now we're going to transition to base running. We're going to get a little bit of water really quick, so we'll take a break, and then we're going to do some base running and working on our rolling leads.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about leads. At Barry, we do a rolling lead, and so she's going slow, 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 and when we turn, we want to turn and our back foot to be facing the direction that we want to go to. So will you show me the wrong way to do it fast, Aaliyah? So do you see how much time it took Aaliyah to go, 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 and then she like stopped, stuttered, and then at that point your catcher has you dead at first.
So one of the biggest reasons that we do this is timing. Just like Mackenzie said, good job, Mackenzie. Thank you very much. It's going to be timing. So many people, just like Aaliyah showed us, will square up like this. Now this is not helpful, right? I'm not going in any direction. I just got all that momentum off the base. Now I've lost it.
Instead of squaring up to home plate, we teach the rolling lead. So if you watch them, they're going to be slow off. They're going to be fast back with a quick turn in the middle. So if you look at their footwork, they do a nice pivot and get their toes and everything facing first base. The reason this is called a rolling lead is because we want them to be able to keep moving the entire way. We build up momentum coming off the base, we give a little look, and then if we can keep going, we want to keep our momentum going towards the next base. So that's why we're slow off, so that when that ball crosses home plate, our body is still facing the next base. And then, depending on what happens, we can make a decision. Do we need to do a quick pivot and go back? Or can we keep our momentum and keep going to the next base? So it avoids that awkward stop and go mentality, and it allows us to roll right into it and keep moving.